Okay, so what happened?
I was up here by myself watching these screens, and I was looking this way and then heard a really loud bang over here. And I'm not tall enough to identify what fell, but I see it down here. It's this thing in the middle, right?
Beetlejuice on the left.
Yeah.
This text up here is EVP captions from EVPs I hear later while editing. Most of these EVPs are so faint, I suggest listening with headphones. Here we go. Okay, this is for the spirits. I'm Brett. I'm a psychic medium, and I like to film my interactions with the other side. If you are unsure about being filmed or being recorded on audio, please talk to my team, talk to my guides, and follow their instructions. Another thing is I've been told not to use names. Instead of using names, please tell what you did so we can identify you that way. Tell us about you. Tell us interesting facts, interesting secrets. And if you need any sort of help, please talk to my team as we're finished recording. I'm going to tune in and see what I can get. I'll probably have to redo the opening a bunch of times. And I think the lights were left on. Yes. This is the same property where part of the Manson family came in. There were 5 murders on this property. This was the second night, and then the next night after, they killed another couple people in Los Angeles. But what I'm here to do is to talk to the spirits who are here. So when we came up to the front door, I was getting the impression of a brunette, and she was treating this like her house. She was very excited. It was like she entertains people a lot, and that's the feeling I was getting from her. Just trying to tune in here. I'm Brett, I'm a psychic medium, and I like to film my interactions with the other side. And there go the lights. Do you guys know that already? I would just like to talk to you. And the lights are back on. It's these lights. This morning I woke up from a dream where I was floating around a house, and I was running around, and I had a bunch of puncture wounds in me, and I feel like somebody was chasing me, and I had a handgun. And I woke up, and my immediate thought was I was one of the Manson family, and I was not down for killing anybody. I didn't want to do any of that. And I was killed. I was killed by other members of the Manson family, and they took my body and they took me out. And so I think there might be another person that was involved that's unaccounted for. And they're buried up in the hills somewhere. Another thing I was getting was incense, peppermints, that song. I was also getting told the birds was getting told all of this psychedelic music. So I show up here, psychedelic posters. This area, kind of a daze. You know, the whole time I've been here, I've been having trouble like catching my breath. I feel like I can't catch my breath. But this feels like energy flows through here. I'm getting the impression of bicycles. Are there pictures? Why, who would be showing me that? Is this a light timer? Nope. Feel like I'm hearing voices a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to need to come through the whole place one more time. Let's try down one more time. Somebody likes to be right here on this step, like right here. Somebody hangs out right here. Okay, so now I'm starting to see things. I'm seeing little, somebody that hangs out down there. Somebody small. I don't think that's human. The lights just went off again in here. These lights. And they're back on. That was a squeak from the floor. Yeah, that's somebody in white that hangs out right there in the stairwell. Yeah, the whole time, my heart has been racing and I haven't been able to catch my breath. Oh, man, I had all these ideas before coming along, and then it's
Really?
like get here and it's just gone.
All right, so where are we going and what? You lead me or we lead you?
You can lead me. Okay.
Okay, so let me just say, all right. Hi there, hello again. We're in my living room of the Oman House, and I'm showing Brett around, and I want to show you first this, which we've had a lot of activity on today. Since you've been here, we've had 2 different figurines get knocked over at 2 different times, and the funniest thing is the figurine that's the easiest to get knocked over, which is that smoking man right there, hasn't budged. But the first one was the middle figurine of Beetlejuice, and then the figurine to the left.
I just heard a whisper behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. I tour the place, and I'm not getting a whole lot, but then I get with you, and I'm hearing the whispering, and...
It's feeling you out, is what I'm getting. It doesn't know how to respond to you.
This place definitely has a vibe, and it's from the earth. Like, this is something where I am positive that we can look at topographic maps, and usually there are sacred spots where there are topographic features. I feel like this is a well. I feel like there's something, it's like an indent or something here where
there's energy.
Stuff flows, and it probably flows up.
Yeah.
It probably flows upwards. Thinking about it and trying to visualize it, I see it flowing upwards, but it's like, it's turbulent. So there's some turbulent energy here also on the periphery, probably right around this space. And I don't know if it's this house. It's turbulent, it's spinning, and it comes up through here.
It's a vortex is what you're thinking. It's a lot of energy that whirls around you. And expectations are one thing, because I've seen enough people come through and they're like, oh, we're going to see Sharon Tate. It's like, no, you're not. If there's no connection, and I'm their biggest fan, there's nothing in it for the spirit to jump off and say, oh, I'm going to say hi to you because you're my biggest fan.
Yeah, you know what? You're saying Sharon, and I don't mean this disrespectfully or anything. This is just a question.
Yeah.
How do you know it's Sharon? How do you know that this is specifically Sharon?
She's spoken to me when we've had people that have been here through the years that we didn't know who they were, and then later on found out from the people that their family and Sharon's family used to hang out together. My friend who passed away a year ago yesterday saw Sharon. You were outside with some other people, and when I came in, she goes, oh, I saw your girlfriend. It's like, what? My girlfriend had no interest in being here that night. And she said she walked from right here in the bar, around here, stopped, turned and looked. Their eyes met, and she was sitting in that chair where the coat is.
Yeah.
She turned and she looked, she smiled, and then she walked down the staircase. She says, well, I saw what I saw. And I said, she goes, no, she was a person. I could swear. We went through the entire house. There was no one here.
So while you're talking, I'm getting impressions of a woman coming up and being like almost whispering in my ear. Somebody's touching me in my ear. There are those kind of things happening.
Tactile sensations, I'm being told, is what you're having.
Yeah, I mean, usually I see and hear. I'm not hearing a whole lot but I'm just getting the slightest impressions of folks around, and there are a lot of people around. On the stairwell, right down here, halfway down the stairs, it's a human or humanoid, white.
Male or female? And I don't mean to grill you like this.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it because I'd rather be accurate with this.
Oh, sure.
I don't know what I was getting. There were two non-human entities at the bottom of the stairs. They gave me the impression of kind of like gargoyle kind of figures on the very bottom, underneath the stairs, like two of them huddled together, kind of.
That's interesting because when they shot the episode of Ghost Adventures 10 years ago, everybody came upstairs taking a break and they left the boom mic right in the corner, in the right-hand corner of the lower stairwell.
Okay.
And Jay Wasley, the technician, was listening on the audio, on the microphone, on the headphones, and he goes, Zach, listen to this. So Zach put the headphones on and he heard sounds. So then they gave me the headphones. He said, what is this, David? Can you explain? And I heard crunch, 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 footsteps walking across the landing into the theater room. That's impossible. There's no one in the house. I said, well, there you go. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
Somebody's squeezing my arm. This is where I broke my arm. So it could be somebody checking it out or helping do some healing or whatever.
Or
it's
just
fine.
letting you know that they're there.
It's fine, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And somebody's pulling on the camera. Every once in a while, somebody will be pulling on the camera.
18 years ago when Jeff was here with his handheld camera, he was walking around the house, he said, somebody was pulling at my camera and pulling it out of my hand.
Yeah, okay.
I was fighting with him. I said,
Okay.
"Why don't you?" He goes, I told him to buck off.
I don't usually look up a place beforehand because I don't want to be biased. I don't want to know anything about it.
In the dark, right.
This time, I got the impression, somebody was telling me that I need to look it up.
Right.
Look up the information so I have questions that are appropriate or whatever, because this place is so famous anyway. But I did see that Trent Reznor and Marilyn Manson
Lives at the end of the
both
Before
did
it.
recordings before the original house was torn down. And one of the things I saw was they got some anomalies in their recordings. They kept getting anomalies. And I would love to hear some of those recordings.
That's interesting because I never even knew that was true. I knew that they recorded Downward Spiral there, but I didn't know that they had actually, and I'd heard people say, oh, Trent says there's nothing scary about the house. And now you're telling me contradictory information. I find that fascinating.
I saw a quote from him that was something about the place is spooky. It was very spooky, but not in this place is haunted spooky, but this place has some crazy energy.
Right.
And Yeah, and then they did the recording and they got something. I'm like, they got EVPs on there with good equipment, you know? I would love...
You should reach out to Trent Reznor and see if you can talk to him about that.
Yeah.
I'm curious as hell.
Yeah, for sure. And then also he, when he moved,
He took the front door.
He took the front door.
To the recording studio.
Okay, so who else recorded in that house? And this might have been before Manson wanted to do it, and possibly after. Like, do you guys know who was recording in that house, or who's recorded in this house? I'm not getting answers. It's crazy.
Trent was the last one to live in that house, in the original house, before they tore it down in '94. And before him, there was nobody that was actually using it as a recording studio, so he would have been the only one. And the recording studio was called Le Pig.
Ah, okay.
So
Interesting. Oh, okay. So this area right here, this is a thoroughfare of energy. This is like, it's like being on a subway right there. And
glad you said it before I said two words.
The way it, I was seeing an old time bicycle, very romantic notion.
What you're picking up about the bicycle was Sharon used to ride her bicycle, and there are pictures of her riding her bicycle on the hill, on the street up here.
Oh, that me interrupting, seeing red, like this place being dark with red lights going and blue lights going, and it's not like cop lights, it's like a party. Like if you had a party going on here, and it's like, this is the trip out area, and you hang out here with just these lights going on here.
What did you feel when you went to one end versus the other end? Did you notice any change?
You know, I by the time I was down here, I was like, okay, like that's the deal. I can't breathe.
Right. Yeah,
I'm breathing fine now. My heart is fine right now. Go down
it's
here.
a challenging type of the location.
This feels dizzy. Like I am gonna fall into this wall and knock these pictures off if I am not.
Right?
Yeah. And
like it's walking back and forth on a boat.
So you're saying being on a boat? That's really the feeling of it. And it's funny because it's like, yeah, before, okay, I just can't breathe.
Right.
I can't breathe. And now I'm fine. And so now I can feel the differences. I feel like I'm passing through different levels, different
layers.
They're like 3-foot walls that I'm walking through. And I'll be in a soft spot and then in a dense spot. And that's what it feels like on this side. And you're saying it feels different on the other side. This side feels dense. I have complete foundation here. I am totally supported. Yep. There's no way. This is like the safe place to be. This is so solid right here.
By the way, do you pick up on anything? I mean, there are a few remnants of his memorabilia that are left here, but do you pick up on anything of his spirit at all?
Who?
Him, Jack Johnson, this guy. He died 77 years ago in 1946.
I'm not getting anything.
He's been recorded here, and people have told me they've seen his apparition. I was like, what? Who's the big black guy? I said, what big black guy? And then I brought him in here, and they said, that's the big black. I said,
that's really cool. That's really neat.
Holy crap. So this is my office, what's left of my collection, which was extensive. I had a museum of Jack Johnson memorabilia of over 800 pieces. What do you pick up in this room, if anything?
I still feel like I have folks they're on the right side, right shoulder, almost like a woman that would like drape herself on you.
You might be picking up on Jack's wife, possibly.
I was seeing it as a brunette,
right?
Excited about entertaining and cocktail parties and yeah, what she looks like. Is this her?
That's Sharon.
The hair seems fairly dark, so I don't know if that's...
She's a natural brunette.
I don't know if that's who I am getting.
Right.
I'm always curious, like, do you... asking...
she would only be appearing to you in her natural hair color, which was dark brown, which was not natural blonde. So that does make sense.
My theory is that, I mean, I appreciate that because that validates me a lot.
And that's how I saw Jay
But-
Sebring, because he usually wore hair product to straighten his hair.
Oh,
when
he
I
was-
saw him, he had kinked hair. And I'm being told you're seeing Sharon as she appears without her dyed hair. I've got pictures of
But-
Sharon that are some publicity shots from '68 that I have upstairs that you'll see, and you can say, that's who I saw. Immediately, as soon as you see the image of Sharon, you'll be able to say, that's who I saw.
She was really smart.
Oh, yeah.
She was really smart. She was really cool.
Oh, yeah, she was a hell of a person.
She is really cool.
So in this hallway, we've had crazy things happen here, Brett. I mean,
Yeah.
people have walked by this door in this bedroom, and the doorknob started to jingle and started to move around, and they grabbed the door and they opened the door up, and there's no one in the room.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. People have taken pictures in this part of the hallway, and the first image is fine. The next image, there's like a dark shadow right here, and the next image is fine. So, go figure.
Okay. And then this, right where you are right there, that is where there was the person in white.
There was a guy that was here 4 years ago with a team doing an investigation. They were doing a podcast. Right at this point, he's about to, like here, he feels himself getting pulled down, and then all of a sudden, something grabs him by the back of the backpack strap and pulls him back.
That's
Right
cool.
here.
That's cool.
So
I
that's
appreciate the nice folks.
Oh yeah, it's premises liability. I don't need to worry about my ghost protecting it.
I've got, it's like a pressure right on both sides of my head, right about here,
Right.
about my temples. It's just a little bit of pressure. It would be like,
Pressure like you're on an airplane going up and the pressurization hasn't hit your ears and you're still trying to pop the ears.
could be. I mean, it's one of these like weird things to try to explain. I mean, you get it.
Try to explain exactly is the key word.
Oh, okay, this is where I was feeling like, okay, this is where the energy that comes up, a lot of it is coming up through.
Through the house.
I had imagery of major rebar or whatever, just shooting deep down. It's like you've got antennas going down deep into the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing what the ground is like or anything like that, but I'm just seeing like,
Caissons is what
this
saying.
place-
The reinforced caissons with the V-bar, yeah.
okay.
There's a lot of, there's just a lot of things in this place, and everything you're saying is, yeah, that's true.
Oh, and I feel like they are dimming us. They're dimming me at least, because otherwise we would be hearing, it would be like a freight train kind of sound from just the energy shooting up. Almost cartoony explosion of energy going up.
Right.
And if we could hear it, it would sound like being in a tornado or
Too much at once.
yeah. So I feel like I'm being at least dimmed that way, and that might be why I'm not hearing anything, but I'm definitely seeing and feeling, the woman on my shoulder. Oh, another question.
Yeah.
Another question for them. So with a lot of spirits in famous places, I'm curious about, well, do you feel stuck? Or do you live here? Do you only live here? Or what's the draw to this place? And like, do you live in heaven, but do you visit sometimes? Are you splitting your awareness or splitting your soul
Are you
to
spending
visit?
the winter south and your summers north of the border? It's like the thing, yes. That's interesting. A lot of your questions I can't answer because I'm just thinking to myself, I can't answer that. I don't have the answers to those questions.
Yeah, I ask these things. I saw somebody just zip
Yeah.
about this high kind of behind you.
Let's just leave that like that.
All right.
That I just heard.
Yeah.
Right over my shoulder. That doesn't make any sense.
That's the kind of thing that I'll just go, okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, we don't know. So but I don't live here, so
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just I'm not
I
questioning
understand.
you. I'm
No,
just
but I
saying
got
like the way I
videos
do
from
it.
a
Yeah.
few years ago when my friend Philip was here with two girls that were investigating, and he started talking, and all of a sudden, these things start to jostle. After he left, you could still hear the sound of the cases, of the mini helmets inside the cases rattling around. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, I haven't heard that in a while.
Huh.
That's the beginning of what I know is the sound of those things getting moved, and there's no reason.
Was there anything that happened the first time that I
Apropos
might?
of nothing.
I don't want to be like
No.
causing problems with any of these kind of questions or anything.
No, you haven't been disrespectful towards this.
Another question that I think she could answer: do you feel like you want revenge, or do you feel like you want vengeance for this, or are you easily ready to forgive? Do you care about the case at all? And why would you hang around a place that would be...
So as far as the spirits are concerned with revenge, and I use this as an example for people that claim that spirits are trying to hurt them, and I said, look, Sharon Tate, Wojciech Frykowski, Abigail Folger, Stephen Parent, and Jay Sebring were all slaughtered at the hands of Charles Manson and his family. They've been sitting in jail rotting since 1972. So for close to 50 years they've been sitting there. I don't recall Manson or Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, any of them, Tex Watson, complaining about the spirits tormenting them when they were in jail. For lack of better words, that's not their afterlife. That's not what they're supposed to do.
What draws these spirits to this location? And do you guys have different entities cruising through that'll stay here for a little while and then split?
Yes. The house is like Lisa Williams and Marianne Winkowski, the real-life ghost whisperer, called it a giant ghost flop house. And what Dr. Barry Taffet said when he was here in 2005, after investigating it for the year he was here, he came to the conclusion that the house sits on an electromagnetic, geomagnetic anomaly naturally occurring. The energy is basically coming up and it's magnetizing the whole house. However, it's not this house alone that's got the activity. The whole, as Dr. Taffet said, the whole area, probably about 1,000 to 2,000 feet in all directions outside of this area, is active.
I would think so, and I would think that because you are active with it, because the spirits, everybody's come here.
It's a convergence
and
of things.
so
It's the way the house is designed more than anything, because even when I'm not in the house, the DSC EMF levels are hitting at 5,000 plus milligauss positive to 5,000 negative milligauss. And what Barry said is that when he investigated the original entity case in Culver City in the early 70s,
Yeah.
that the meters would peak to the level they are now when the manifestation would occur, when they had pictures of the arc of light over the girl's head, and then after that, 5 minutes later, they return to normal.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's supposed to be. He goes, however, in this house,
is just
it's
pinned.
always at the peak level. So when you come in and other people walk in, the spirits around them hit this environment, they can manifest.
Stop for a second, because I feel like folks are trying to talk.
Yeah, that's usual.
And I'm hearing stuff over there, and I'm hearing stuff over here. All right. So do they have any issues with being recorded or being on video? Because I have spirits, they aren't supposed to be on camera, and I'm not supposed to use names. They need to get permission for that stuff. So
No, the spirits
Okay.
do what they want to do when they want to manifest. They have no problem, and I certainly don't put any restrictions upon them. No, they know, but like I said, they're
yeah, I did see them. While we're talking to each other, we're doing a little telepathic stuff, because I was going to ask about, you don't ask them to do things. You aren't like, oh, can you knock twice? Like, you aren't asking them to perform at all.
If they do what they want to do, I could ask them to let us know that they're here, but they already know that. I don't have to ask them anything. They know, and I don't treat them with a sense of expectations to do what I request.
Yes.
That's just stupid. It's like,
Yes.
what are you, they're trained? They're not trained. They do what they want to do, and I allow them the space to be and do what they want to do.
I don't think I picked up anything specific in this room. I think I just came in here and moved right out. And I mean, that in itself is information.
I've had people that have been locked in this room, in the bathroom from the inside. We've had a little girl's voice recorded laughing. Somebody had his iPhone during a Halloween party a few years ago, pulled out of his hand and thrown against the screen door on the window right there.
So I'm wondering if that's I walk in here and it's a little bit more potentially aggressive. It's not aggressive to me,
Not
but
aggressive, but it just.
but somebody
doesn't
who's gonna.
They don't like being messed with. And the key grip in my movie was dragged up to the corner of the ceiling here.
See, I would say I would go with aggressive with it.
Well, this guy was a complete skeptic towards the paranormal.
I see a lot. I am seeing a lot in here. A lot of little tiny things, like seeing a flash over there,
Right.
Seeing shadows, and I'm feeling pressure in my ear, only in my left ear. I'm feeling like I think my beard is touching, like stuck in my zipper. All sorts of stuff like that. So I'm feeling a lot of that.
All right, that's interesting. I just heard something over there.
Yeah.
And then also in the bathroom, there's somebody that hangs in the bathroom that likes to leer from the vent, that vent on the other side to look into the bathroom. And people have complained, somebody's leering at me in the bathroom. It's like, what do you think? There's a camera in the window, but there's somebody that's leering at me. And I'm like, it is not me.
Oh, I'm so envious. I would love a bathroom that big.
But do you feel the energy in there? Forget that. Damn. This isn't.
I'm just like, hey. Okay, wait a second. Be quiet for a second. Okay, so I'm not hearing anything with my ears. I'm not hearing anything telepathically, but I'm getting such a sense that there is somebody making noise. I'm getting a sense of a woman's laughter or something like that. I'm getting like in there. Usually I will hear it telepathically or I'll hear it objectively. I mean, it'll be really interesting to see if I get the EVPs or what pops up.
Oh, wow. Tell me if it isn't freezing.
It is
like
really
ice cubes cold.
It is really cold in here. I'm getting imagery of matchsticks, just matchsticks, loose matchsticks, wooden.
Yeah. I don't know what that's from.
Yeah, I just get...
God, it feels like it's getting colder as we sit here. The longer I sit here, the colder I'm getting. Oh no, here's my arm sticking straight up and I'm getting goosebumps all over.
I see that. I see that.
That's not when we walked in. That's just developing as we're standing here.
Yeah, I saw that while you were sitting down. And I don't think it's that cold. I'm wearing a sweatshirt, but it's not...
You don't have any head.
It's not like that kind of...
Why, but I mean, I feel it around my upper body.
Oh, for sure.
My arms and my neck and just...
I feel like they are, again, this is me going into mediumship mode and judging everything on a medium as they are taking care of me. They're keeping me warm, and
good for you.
Somebody's not doing something for you.
You're the new visitor. All right. It feels colder inside out in the room than it does in the refrigerator. And the refrigerator is at 38 degrees.
It does.
That's
it
not
definitely
possible.
It feels the fridge is definitely warmer. I mean,
that feels about as cold as it is in here. That's as close to it.
I think I absolutely agree with that.
Oh, that's good. And watch, when we go through this door, everything changes. Everything changes. Everything's totally different. And I've gone in there and I've never felt it that cold.
And you know what? Now I'm getting it. I'm getting chills through my shoulders.
Well, I'm still feeling it.
Almost shaking.
Yeah,
and I wasn't feeling it there. And this room I know is warm. And my batteries are about to die on these, so
I got a question.
that's interesting.
Do the batteries run quickly?
You know, I'm so used to changing the batteries
Right.
because I know they're going to drain.
Right.
So
Well, here at this
I'm trying to head it off, I
Of
think.
course. Well, at this house we have a problem with people's batteries draining extremely fast.
I bet. So while
We have batteries, yes.
we've got batteries,
Yes.
thank you so much
Oh, God.
for allowing
my
us to
pleasure.
check this out.
And I just heard them take a footstep over there behind us.
I heard something over there,
Yeah, and there's nothing there.
Wow.
Well, thanks, Spirits. I appreciate that. And I know... What? Yeah, I know. Yeah, Brett, he appreciates it.
Yes, thank you very, very much.
They just said thank you for inviting him to visit the house, and we got a kick out of it.
All right, cool.
Not to think twice about it. You'll find
And
it.
I am seeing stuff flying over your head, so
That's the crap going on inside my head. That's
It
not
could
the
very-
spirits.
very
That's
well
my
be.
turmoil of personal crime.
all right. Well, thank you so much.
No, it was my pleasure, Brett. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad.
Here are a couple more EVPs that I caught without cameras rolling that I thought you guys might be interested in. Let's see. Do they do things every once in a while, like movement?
I mean, obviously the outside one, trees are blowing and all that kind of stuff. I don't really see stuff.
After my
in
visit, I
rooms.
wanted to see if there was any truth to my vision of the other Manson family member being murdered on site. So I started reading Chaos by Tom O'Neill. One of the people connected with Manson actually said other members of the family may have gone to Tate's house the night she was killed. It seems that my vision could indeed be worth exploring further. Thank you again, David Oman, and thank you, Renee Decker from High Strange Magazine, for introducing me to David. If you want to learn more about the Oman House or Manson Murders, do check out David's book. Go to his website, follow him on Twitter, go watch his videos on YouTube. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And please subscribe and do all the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, hit the bell. And as always, thanks for watching.